Good morning and g'day, mate. Welcome back to Dyson Sphere with me, Jetty, and of course, the wonderful Mr. Icarus. And today, we're on a brand new planet, brand new system. One that was been active in the background for quite some time, but I hadn't actually got a chance to jump over here and put it to good use. We are over in the Noop system. Noop system's been sitting here in the background for quite some time. I've already been over here, I've already set up some infrastructure because it had some fractal silicon, also had some optical grading crystal. More importantly, on the planet we're actually on right now is a hurricane stone forest, which, if you may remember from a previous video, is the one where we find all the soil pile. This whole planet has been foundationed well from top to bottom, because, well, we all like just a little bit of spare soil pile. So, what I want to do this episode is, we're now on episode 70. And for the first 40 episodes, we spent a lot of time just getting through the early game, getting things up and running, and then finally, P for production, making entire star cluster 30 science per second, so 1800 science per minute. And that took a little bit over 40 episodes. What I'd like to do is probably over 2, maybe 3 episodes. I'd like to double it, because we've just spent the last, I don't know how many episodes, a dozen, going through and automating everything there is in the game. So now we have blueprints for everything. So I really want to show off the power of blueprints and how quickly we can upgrade our production. First thing we're going to need is obviously a power hub. We're going to need a whole bunch of power on the system, which also means I'm going to bring... I'm going to change you to do any amount of fuel rods. I'm going to grab another artificial star, drag this around, because we're going to need a fair bit of power on the system, I have to say, if we want to do 30 science per second on this one planet. At least that's the plan. At the same time, whilst we wait for things to import, I'm going to want to import little mini ships. I'm going to want to import big towers sooner or later, because I have some on me, but we're probably going to run out. Also, I need to set up chem plants, probably 500, because as the sciences continue, we're going to need to process oil for purple science. We're going to bring in 200 oil refineries. We're also going to need to bring in labs, obviously, a lot of labs. We're going to need particle colliders for green science, so we're going to set those up as well, and fractionators, because we're going to have to do some deuterium processing on this planet as well. Other thing I need to do is I need to grab some power poles, because I'm out already. Going to need some belts, except I'm thinking 4,000 is a better number. Sorters, 1,500-ish, and of course, good old assembly machines. And we need to go to this one, which already has the warpers, and set up... No, hang up. I need to actually have some little shippies on me and some big shippies on me, and set up you to bring in warpers and distribute them around the planet. So, with that out of the way, we need to find which side of the planet has no resources. It's that side. So we're going to start building here, I think. Yeah, here. Right, so first thing we need to do is we need to go through our blueprints. We're going to start off with, obviously, blue science. Blue science seems like a good spot to start. We can pop that right the way here at the top of the planet. And unfortunately, Editor Jetty has got the worst job in the world, where he's going to have to keep a tally of what we're going to have to make in the way of smelting as the episode continues, because we're going to have to obviously build the smelting to keep up with all this sort of stuff. So blue science, as we can see, it makes 15 matrix per second from smelter materials. Unfortunately, previous Jetty didn't bother updating that to say how much smelter materials are required, so that's the other thing I'm doing. I'm sort of going through and making sure that all the blueprints, one, are configured correctly, two, have details like that put in, because I have no idea how much copper, iron, and magnets we need to bring in. But we do need to start bringing, throwing in ships and drones into all these builds. Set up that, set up that, set up request, and some request. And that is blue science done. This is going to be the beauty of blueprints. We should be able to hopefully get this done fairly quickly. Red science is going to go there. Again, we can see from the description it makes 15 red science per second. We're going to put one there and one there. Cool. We're going to put in ships and ships. Set up remote demand, along with remote demand, and obviously a power pole to join the two together. And I did say we'd have to bring in a whole bunch of materials. So labs, 300. Cool, that's a good start. Alright, oh, and belt. Obviously I'm out of belt already. 4,000 belt, done. Do I have sorters on me? I do have sorters on me, so we're not out of sorters. We need to fly a little bit closer there, and a little bit closer over there. Okay, so that is our first two sciences done. Next science we're going to need is going to be yellow science. And I have two options. I have the little fat one, which is the one I'm actually a fan of, and also have the long, thin, skinny build, which I could put up here at the top of the planet. The problem is I need to put in two of them. I'm pretty sure that I can't get the second one in this tiny amount of space. So we're going to use the, nope, not the long one, the fatter build. And we're going to start down on the second row, and I'm going to put one there and one, say there. And as we can see, this, it just says from smelter materials again. I'm sorry, Editor JD, good luck. Hopefully you can just put a running tally on the screen, or maybe update it every now and then. Okay, so this is going to have to bring in kimberlite ore. Also going to have to bring in organic crystal and titanium. We need to put ships in here and ships in here. And I did notice, I'll have to see it again when we get to the second one. Put ships in there and ships in there. That this blueprint has a tiny little error with it. This one little smelter doesn't get power. Obviously, when it was built on our original black box build planet, it was too close to something else. So it was getting power from something else. So we need to, again, grab our sorters, because I'm out of those. Also need to grab another 300 labs. Okay, that's done. That has its sorters, so we're good on sorters. Alright, so that's 3 sciences down. And again, these are just bringing in smelter materials, so it makes our life super, super easy. We are short on warpers. The one little poor tower out there that's trying to bring in warpers is obviously struggling. Next blueprint we're going to need is obviously purple science. So purple science is black box information matrix, makes 15 science per second from 15 particle broadband, and one more research done. And 30 processes per second. So we're going to grab, really? Okay, press OK. Grab that, put it obviously there, and a second one there, because they only do 15 per second each. Fly over there, and I'm going to set you up to storage, because I want to bring in the materials. I want to make the materials on this planet. Alright, this is going to be the other challenge. Can we make 30 science per second on one planet? I'm pretty sure I can. Now I have blueprints to do it. I don't think I can organically build 30 per second. Okay, so we need to put ships in here, ships in here. You have ships, you do have ships. We're good to go. We just need a whole bunch of more labs. Okay, so that's purple science done, except purple science is the first one where we're not actually bringing in the raw materials. We're bringing in stuff that is partly processed. So we need to actually work out what we need to process. So to go back to that, with purple science, we need 15 particle broadband and 30 processes per second. So let's start with processes, because that's probably the easier build. This makes 24 processes per second. We're going to need a couple of these. So we're going to scroll back around the planet to the start. We're going to go with 1, 2. No, that's going to go over a copper patch. Let's fly over there and go flat the copper patch. And we can see we're already out of assemblers. Copper patch, copper patch, copper patch. Go away, copper patch. Okay. Processes. Oh, no. Too close, too close, too close. Happy. Alright, we're also going to need to grab a crap ton of those. I still see belt and I still see sorters in my inventory, so we can put on both those. We need to be remote, set up those and go back and grab some drones because we're out of those already. This is going to be very common for this episode. We're just going to run out of everything at all times. Let's grab the belt because I can already see I'm just got just about no belt left. You will throw drones in there. Not that I think you need drones. You're going to need those and those. We're going to set up remote demand. Now, I don't need to set processors to local supply only because in theory, if they're needed here on planet, they'll be flown out by the drones all the time. And it's only if we end up with 1,000 extra that a large ship can actually fly off with them. So it should auto-prioritize to use or to stay on the local planet first. We're also going to need power from A to B, which will use our patent-pending wind turbines to move power around the planet, because they're still the best way to move power around the planet. Remote, yep. And then over to this guy, which needs remote, along with ships and ships. Okay, so how much did we need? We needed 30 processors per second. We just put down 24, 48. We're going to need another blueprint, which shall go there. No, too close. There, cool. Alright, so that's overkill, but it's probably better to have too much rather than enough. I have, as I said, I'm not keeping track. JD is going to have to keep track of exactly how much material we're up to already that we're going to have to head back to probably IC smelting and set up smelting for. I'm going to bring in those and those. We'll put those in there and those in there. Okay, so that is processes done. That's half the purple science done. And we are, what, 10 minutes? 10 minutes into this episode. We're flying through this stuff. Okay, this is also going to require 15 particle broadband per second twice. So, particle broadband per second. This blueprint does 30 particle broadband per second, which is perfect. That's twice the amount we need. We need to just find somewhere to drop this blueprint, which I'm going to guess is going to be right here. Nope. Sorters are too close to one another. Okay. Alright, we can see we're out of assemblers. Go grab more assemblers. I do see belt in my inventory, but I don't see sorters, so we're out of sorters as well. We will set up this, which is going to require, well, it's going to require plastic locally, nanotubes locally, and also fractal silicon, only because we happen to have fractal silicon on this planet. We're going to grab that locally as well. So we're going to throw in ships and ships, and you should be good to go. And yeah, these two sorters right here are very close to one another, and occasionally the blueprint complains. Alright, before I get sidetracked, where is fractal silicon? That's copper. I see there's two patches in there, but I prefer to avoid those if I can. Somewhere out of the way? No. Alright, I think we're going to go to the top of the map and grab one from the top of the map, just so it's over and done with and we don't have to worry about it again. We're going to put an itty bitty tower. That's going to be too close. Yeah. Sure. Alright, I need to put in 1, 2, 3 miners. It's going to be overkill for what we need because we've done a bit of research. We're sort of in the very, very late game, and this is one of the other things that I really want to demonstrate. That early game, it's a lot about trying to work out how to get things running. By the time you get to late game, it's much more of a case of, you know, how quickly can you scale up? Like, putting down blueprints is easy. Physically getting the drones to place them is a different thing. But not only that, having your main factory to be able to supply materials fast enough that I can put down 3,000 belt at a ridiculous speed is a whole separate thing. So when it comes to like fractal silicon, if I turn that on, we can see that those belts are moving quite fast. Now I've got one belt per miner. which you might say is a bit of overkill. Well, this guy's only doing 400 per minute. Maybe it's overkill for him. He's doing 500 per minute. It's a lot. This guy's doing over 1,000 because we have mining speed 440%. We are currently doing veins utilization 35%, which we're actually burning through fairly quickly, even though it's 120,000 research. Yeah, so putting one belt is maybe extreme. No, I want minimum charge. I want you only to leave if you have 100 materials to take. Yes, better. But I think it's going to be more than enough to keep up with our little build. If I follow the drones, we'll find out where that little build was. Here. Okay, so that's done, that's done, that's done. So we just need to work out how to get both plastic, fractal silicon, and carbon nanotubes. So back to our blueprint list. We want plastic. No. Okay, let's go make the stone go away. Done. Plastic, 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 plastic. There. Sure, that worked. Alright, so we'll come over here, we'll get the tower done first. So the tower is going to require refined oil brought in locally, energetic graphite brought in remotely, throw drones in there and there, and nope, we're out of belt. I'm out of belt, number 4,000 belt. I have sorters, so we're good on sorters, and that's that build up and running. But yes, now it means we need to go look at oil. Oil is this blueprint, which won't fit that high on the map, so we'll start here. There? No. There. Okay, we'll put oil right beside plastic. Same story, we're going to bring in oil remotely. We'll set up ships and ships, and then we'll have the refined oil and the hydrogen available locally, which is fine because we're going to have other builds that are going to end up eating hydrogen, so we'll probably be able to dispose of hydrogen on this planet. Oil refineries, 200 please. Thank you. Okay, power didn't quite... Oh no, we're out of power poles. Never mind. We chewed through the first 200. Let's go for another 200. Okay, so that looks like that build is up and placed and happy and built. And... yeah, done? Done? Good, we're done. Excellent. Alright, next on our list was... particle broadband also required 60 nanotubes. 60 nanotubes comes from this build. This build does 30 nanotubes per second using the graphene recipe. And obviously, if I put down 2 of these, we're done. So I want to put one there. No. There. No. Okay, so it's going to have to come down to the next tier around the planet. So we'll put one... where's the equator line? Really wish the equator line would show up in blueprint mode. I'm going to go with... no. Because I really want them both sides of the equator. We'll just keep going down little bit by little bit. Okay, that's 1. That's 2. We'll fly over... can I see it through the planet? Nope, the planet's too thick for a change. Ah, there it is. Yes, we can see it through the planet. Okay, fly over here, put in patent pending draggable power poles, also known as wind turbines. Drag from there to there. That gets that up and running. We're going to need chem plants. 250, done. We're going to need to set up remote for titanium. Remote for fire ice. The hydrogen is a waste product, so again, if we come back into our blueprints, we look at carbon nanotubes. From the fire ice recipe, it brings in 45 fire ice per second and 15 titanium per second, and makes 23 hydrogen per second as a waste product. So we set up that, drop ships in there and ships in there, and that's that blueprint done. Obviously, power didn't quite stretch from the first build to the second build. Same story, remote to manned, Throw you guys in. Throw you guys in. I need sorters, I can see. I have belts. And chem plants we don't actually know because I was already out. Well, I'm definitely out. Oh, maybe I'm not out. Okay, that's that build done. And that looks to be that build done as well. No, lots of fun over here. We missed something? Okay. Alright, so where are we up to? Purple science. Purple science required 15 particle broadband and 30 processes per second. The processes we've done. Particle broadband required 60 carbon nanotubes. Carbon nanotubes, we did 2 builds at 30 nanotubes each. That's also done. And also needed 30 fractal silicon, which we're mining, and 30 plastic per second. That build does 30 plastic per second from 60 refined oil. That build there does 60 refined oil per second. We're done. We're done. We went from red science to purple science. 1 episode, 21 minutes. The power of blueprints. Yes. Also means next episode we're going to have to come back and I'm going to have to set up some remote commands. Put ships in there. I just forgot to click the buttons. Means next episode we're going to have to come back and we're going to have to do green science. Along with, if we have time, we should have time. Green science is not too hard. That's set up, that's set up. That's set up, it's already started processing. That's set up, that started processing. We're out of warpers. I'm assuming it's just because... which tower is it? No, all the wrong towers. No, you have warpers. Oh, you're only bringing 100. Bring in 300. There we go. Problem solved. Okay. Yes. So next episode. We're gonna have to do green science, which should be easy. Should be actually really easy. I'm figuring we should have enough time to get green science done in an episode and have enough time left over that we can actually go back out to our black hole and go and physically double science over on the Mr. J system on our black hole, because this is currently only processing 30 science per second. We obviously want to double it. We want to make it process 60 science per second. But as I said, this is the power of the blueprints, and this is where I'm going to leave this episode. If you want to grab any of these blueprints I've used so far this episode, you can always jump on my Discord. Link is up the top right hand corner, also down in the pinned comments below, and grab all these blueprints and a whole lot more. But with all that said, I'm going to call it here. I will see you guys in the very next episode, and can you do me a favor? Can you tell Mum? Yeah, tell your mum, not my mum. Tell your mum. Jenny said hi. Alright, that's it. We're out. Bye.